Hey yo, what's up? You know what it is? It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. Live on Team GRF TV. I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And yo, Lupinranger versus Patranger, episode number 7. Always being saved. Yumika focus episode. I likes it. Forwardly pushing up the ship between Yumika and Sakuya. Thumbs up, soldier. I like it. That was the whole episode. But there's a lot to it. I got this. Look. We have been, this whole series, slowly been dealing with what the loss of their close loved ones when it comes to the Lupinrangers drives everything that they do. Is that this was very highly illustrated in the middle of this episode when after both Kairi and Toma were both eaten by the monster of the day and Yumika's trying to figure out what to do. And in a show of I didn't know you had that emotion or even cared, Kogare's like, yo, remember when I gave this after you lost your friend? She turned into ice and went bye-bye? With this power, you became something that you couldn't have on your own and are better than you were yesterday. You became a thief in order to seek out what it is that you truly want, to bring the one you care about back. And this episode was all about Yumika dealing with this. It's not like, even though that the day was saved, the Lupin collection piece was retrieved and all that, like this is some be-all end-all thing, because what we saw on display was a lot of PTSD. And if you don't know what that is, it's called post-traumatic stress syndrome, where post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSS, is something, is a different thing, but similar. But anyway, that when something triggers something in your head that makes you remember something very traumatic, that's what happened after Kairi sat up her and pushed her off. After Kairi pushed her off the way and got eaten himself. It's like, it's the same thing that a friend did for her. And it's like, it was wonderful to see and to learn a little bit more about the relationship between Yumika and Shiho and how it drives everything. Because, yo, a wonderful friend can make you do things with them by your side that you couldn't alone. I'm like, yo, look at me. I'm like, there are a lot of things on the channel that never would have got done without Jay being in my ear like, we need to do it. So I know what that is, and I know what that feels like, and that personally resonated with me. Understanding is, like I said, that if you thought that Yumika dealing with this was going to be you get over yourself and want it done, no. This is going to be a thing, because like we dealt with earlier, we dealt with Tuma stuff a couple of episodes about him and his fiance, and he was willing to go nuts to get her back. And Kairi's dealing with it the best way that he can. And then you throw the cops in the mix, and it's just a whole bunch of things. But at the end of the day, it's great to see this type of characterization on display. Speaking of, because that was a purpose segue, you've really got to appreciate that they are pushing the Yumika Tsukasa ship. That they are pushing this like majorly hard. Like they are trying to get this over on you. And it was just super adorable that how Tsukasa was just mad nervous and like, oh, she's so pretty, and she's sitting up here doing her best act like, hi, and sitting up here putting on a show for him or whatever. It's like, if anything, the show proved with this is that they are going to push this ship majorly hard. They are going to push this ship majorly hard. And it's like, it's going to get interesting the more and more this goes on because of what happened at the end of the episode, right? Is that, yo, the day's been saved, Lupin collection piece retrieved, the cops have done stuff, the thieves done some things, Megazord battles, and we at the bistro sitting there chilling. Sakuya sitting up here paying attention to what's going on. Is like, I know who the Lupinrangers are. That's not what you need right now in these streets. That's not what they need. I'm like, I really thought that unless this is going to be a bait and switch of this is what the chase is going to be and not necessarily something actually happening with this, because having that be a thing and having them actually in the next episode having the Patrangers find out who they are would ruin what it is we are legitimately trying to build. We talked about it last episode of the clash between Kairi and Kiichiro, how that is going to be building up to something major. That the overflow of all this hot-bloodedness and this suave coolness and this back and forth of we willing to steal to get what we want, but we trying to uphold the law to get what we want. We have the Umika Tsukasa ship of this is they. It's like, I will say this live, internet. They are so adorable together. And it's like, yo, I'm with this. Like, I haven't been with a ship in Sentai like this in a very, very, very long time. But when I sit up here in Sentai and think about the last, like, you got what? Daigo and Ami? Like, the last group, or like the last two that really got together, I'm like, I was completely down with that ship, but I wasn't in my full, down with ship mode. And I have the Arrowverse to thank for that. Super Flash forever, you know what I'm saying? That, well, actually, it's more of I became a true believer in the one true ultimate ship above all, and that's Bumblebee for life. But regardless, is that was the last time you really saw like some real romance between team members? Because I'm trying to sit up here and think since Koryuja, like, nope, that was about what it was. And this is the first time for that it's like, well, you have Raptor Bay and you have Sanji JR, but I don't know, like, how much was Sanji JR into Raptor Bay versus how much Raptor Bay was in her head about him. It's weird, and I'm trying to sit up here and I'm trying to figure that out. Like, we'll find out if that's a thing in Space Squad. Like in Space Squad 2, Space Squadding it to the squadrons. You feel me, pimp? So we'll figure out what that is. But they really want to push this ship, and I'm alright with that. Super duper okay with them wanting to push this ship. But that's the episode for real. Like, for real, the episode was really about, you know what I'm saying, about having Umika really be focused and be front and center about how much losing her best friend hurt, and having the show really deal with that early on, but also understanding that, that she got her friends and everything is cool, and that she needed to do what she needed to do to get the squad back together and get the Lupin collection piece and everything. But like I said, I don't sit up here and legitimately believe that the show was just going to be like, well, you're over it now. Nah. This is going to come back, and this is going to be a thing. And when it happens next time, it's going to happen to them as a group. Because Sentai trope, the show is going to make them walk this. Because it is what the show do. Like, when you get your clip show, or you get the monster with the Lupin police, with the Lupin collection power to sit up here and make you sit up here and get in your own head, that's going to be what it is. And then that episode may be something for the police side too, depending on how they want to play that. But we will see. We will see about how it is that they want to handle that. But yo, I like to thank you guys for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. Like, yeah, this was a short episode. This was a short review, but like I said, is that it was all a focus about her. Yeah, Monster sits up here, has the power, eating people and stuff like that. But the focus was really on Yumika and the ship between her and Tsukasa that I really want them to do something with. Because again, I will say this again, internet, they look super duper adorable together, and I'm like, do this. Do this for me, please. I don't really think that they gonna get it. It's gonna be some Romeo and Juliet stuff where they secretly ultimately get together and they find out who they are, and that's where it starts to unravel about who the Lupinrangers are or something like that. That's something that at the end of the series, it's like you want to go on a for real date or whatever, and then they do like the year later when it comes back for another movie or something, or your V cinema of, oh, we're dating and she's pregnant now. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yo, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this into a video. We still in the middle of the ketchup spectacular, so you know anything can pop off at any time. So how about y'all do me a favor and y'all stay tuned right here to 10GRF TV, where we bring you everything you need, and then even more of what you don't need, knowing even though that you think you don't need it and you know you need it. Skittles Kebab. You know who I am. The one and the only. The triple, the G.O.D. Live on 10GRF TV. Lupinranger versus Patranger, episode number 7. Always being saved. And with all of that being said, I'll holler at you guys next time, man. Peace out.